Peace, peace. Let's talk about growth. Let's talk a little bit about growth today. I want to talk about growth because this is something that I've been thinking about. Like the nature of growth. What exactly is growth when we talk about growing? What are we really talking about? It's good for us as men and women all rising intelligently to understand what growth is, because we're talking about rising intelligently, which means that we are rising in our intelligence. Our intelligence level is moving from a lower state to a higher state continuously for as long as it needs to. And as far as I'm concerned, at this time, that's into eternity. We're growing mentally, eternally, as men and women growing intelligently and understanding who we are and what it is we have come into this world to actually accomplish and do as those who are growing mentally. So yeah, I was thinking about growth because we are growing. What really is growth? It is good for us to be able to reach a consensus and understanding of what this growth is. We are growing out of a situation, which means that there are people who will see us becoming prominent in some way, and that will threaten them. So they will look at us like, okay, if these people are growing like this and talking like this, where does this leave us? This is what's going through their minds, through the minds of those who refuse to grow. So, when we're talking about growth, it could be something that can be viewed as dangerous. Biologically, a growth can be cancerous, or it may not be cancerous. Within society, you've got a people growing, and we are those people that are going to be growing out of this society because we're basically sick and tired of the things that are happening within our countries. Especially, I'm speaking from Zimbabwe. I know for a fact I don't want to keep getting bothered by what's happening politically. I think I've grown to a level where I realize that I have to take care of mine. I have to take care of the things that are in front of me. What I'm dealing with within my own life, that is enough for me to deal with. I don't need to be out there trying to check what a politician is doing and trying to correct what they're doing. No, I have to correct myself. I have to correct my community as much as I can. And this is what we're talking about. So growth for us deals with understanding our responsibilities to our people and to our community. And as far as we are concerned, our community is those who are concerned about our growth. That's our community, because those are that is the environment that we can grow properly in. Optimum level. We reach that optimum, condition within our community. This is where we grow the best amongst our people, or amongst those who respect, what it is that we stand for and what it is that we want to focus on as a community. Those are the people you want to grow around. You see, we don't want to grow around, people who really are, I don't want to use the word negative, but there are some people whose energy simply is not something that we require. This is why a lot of the times when people talk about, going through some changes and, they need to cut some people off, or they talk about, look, I'm growing, I'm going somewhere in my life, and I can't take everyone with me. It's the same with our community. As men and women are rising intelligently, as Mwari, we cannot take everyone with us. That's something that we've had to learn over time, and to come to that realization that there comes a time where we cannot take everyone with us. And we're in that time where we understand that there's no way we're going to be able to take some of the people, who clearly are not interested in growing. They want to stay, in the same place, taking drugs, getting high, because it's the in thing now. And they do drugs, meth, and that type of thing. And they don't want to stop and just focus and think about their lives. Like, where's my life going? Who do I want to be in the future? What do I want to be? What do I want to do for my people? Who are my people? Is there something greater than what we see in this world? Is there a God out there? And how do we connect with that? We are those ones who are contemplative. We are moving into a state where we are thinking about who we are and what our purpose is in this life. So that's the growth. And the nutrients that, let's think of ourselves as a plant. Something that has been planted on this planet to grow. And when I say we've been planted by the Lord, by a greater power. The Most High has planted us here to become something greater than the seed that we are coming out of. So which means that we are put here to grow into something greater, to grow into the greatest that we could ever be. So we are in that time in our lives where we're thinking about what it is we are growing into. So what are we growing into? We are growing into eternity, into just becoming greater continuously, being people that influence the world, people who have a say in what is going on in the world, in the worlds, at a future time, in a higher place, we will be able to gain greater understanding of these things, and we will be able to have our eyes open into what worlds are out there and what our role or our position in those worlds are. But as far as where we are right now, the life that we're living is basically feeding into something greater, which means that how we live here is going to have an impact on who we become in a future place and time. So that's all feeding into the growth of the soul. Our lives here are feeding into something, something greater that we expect to become. So that's all about our growth. We're here to grow into something greater. This is growth for us as Mwari is what we're about. We're constantly growing, and we know we cannot take everyone with us. That's a fact of life. So we need those who are able to create the optimum conditions for all of us to grow within. So we need to be in contact with each other and to share that, that energy for growth, that energy towards growth, that positive energy, that necessary energy that we all need to become greater people, to become people that think on an extended level, on a higher level, people who are efficient in everything that they do. This is growth. When you become more efficient, when you become wiser, basically, you're able to deal with things more efficiently than you ever did before, because something has been added in you. Something has been added to who you are, and even those around you can feel that. And you start to encounter even more greater beings because you yourself are becoming greater. So that's growth, which shows itself through the people that you encounter. When you start to encounter people that change your way of thinking and that improve your life in some way just by how they, how you relate with each other. When you relate with these people, you realize that your life is definitely in a better place than it was before. Then you understand, like, damn, I've grown. And I'm around people who nourish me, like that plant that you are, that was placed on this planet. You were planted on this planet, to become greater, to grow into something bigger than you ever imagined. So for us as men and women rising intelligently, we understand that our journey is a journey into eternity. We understand that we can influence worlds. We already influence worlds as it is. It's just that we don't understand how we're doing it. But as we grow, we are going to grow into understanding. And that's what this is all about. Growing in understanding, growing in wisdom, growing in intelligence, and all of these things. So it's not just about physical growth where you were a little child before and you become a man. This is about having thought as a child and then starting to think as a man, and how that makes you this almost superhuman, superpower. You got superpowers basically that you are coming into an understanding of. You are going to understand your own superpowers as you move forward, and as you become more in tune with what that actually means, as far as the greater picture of, that has been created or put forward for us by those who have ensured that we safely arrived on this planet. Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that, just to kind of stimulate your own thoughts on this particular subject. My name is Itai, and I represent Mwari, or Men and Women All Rising Intelligently, teaching the teachings of the teachings. Peace.